Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Open Innovation Week. I am Marco Petuco, and we are here today to learn more about the perspectives from Japanese executives on what it's like to innovate in Brazil. In partnership with JETRO, the Japan External Trade Organization, we invited Japanese executives from leading Japan companies to talk about how they see the Brazilian innovation ecosystem from the perspective of the Japanese market. For that, I want to invite Bruno Rondani, CEO of 100 Open Startups, who will lead this conversation, and our special guests, Mr. Hiroshi Hara, President of JETRO São Paulo, Mr. Masaki Kato, President of MetaOne, and Mr. Yasutoshi Miyoshi, President of Hitachi South America. Welcome, gentlemen, and thank you for being here with us. And now I give the floor to Bruno Rondani. Hello, Bruno.
Hello, Marco. Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to be here as the moderator of this panel. We always say that when we have international attention, that means our ecosystem is growing, is developing. So we are really very happy to have you discussing with us about innovation, about open innovation. So I hope you also enjoy, and I'll give you some minutes to start by introducing yourself, your company, maybe a little bit about your innovation policies or open innovation policies, and if you can share with us an example or a case, but feel free. So I'll start with Mr. Hiroshi Hara from JETRO, which is the partner for this panel, and I thank you again for this partnership and for putting up this event, which means a lot for us and for the Brazilian ecosystem.
Thank you, Bruno. Hello, everyone. I'm Hiroshi Hara, President of JETRO São Paulo. I'd like to introduce a little bit about JETRO. JETRO is a government-related organization that works to promote mutual trade and investment between Japan and the rest of the world. And we have more than 70 offices in 54 countries around the world. JETRO is, in Brazil, we have an office in São Paulo, and I guess that it is easier for you to understand that JETRO has a similar function to Apex Brazil. The main role of JETRO São Paulo is to provide information on trade and investment related to Japan, and to promote the export of Japanese products like medical and laboratory equipment, daily necessities, and food products, etc. Currently, to keep the name of JETRO in your mind. That's all. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hara. I'll ask now for Mr. Miyoshi, President of Hitachi, to present a little bit about the company and your policies on open innovation for Brazil.
Okay, thank you, Bruno. I would like to first of all thanks for 100 Open Startup and JETRO for this opportunity to speak and address some direction our company is thinking in this open innovation topic. I'm in charge of Hitachi South America. We are a corporate office of Hitachi Limited. Hitachi Limited Group worldwide comprises of 860 plus companies all over the world. In South America, we have 23 organizations, and these operational companies are working in energy sector, automotive parts, IT storage, IT software business, as well as construction machinery, and of course, all these energy and transformation sector. Okay, so we have a footprint not only in Brazil, but in most of the countries in South America. And our basic policy and our global policy is to promote what we call social innovation business to leverage data and technology, and our global model is to support people happiness. By that statement means bring more comfort and ease for the general consumer throughout our reliable infrastructure hardware, and nowadays, of course, bring up innovation by unique and valuable technology, which help us all to have a more comfort in using technology. And I think this portion is what open innovation activity can complement what we have as a big enterprise with a lot of broad lineup of a product added to unique ideas startup companies are thinking and creating. And the fusion of these knowledges can effectively deliver better product and service to the people. I think that's the key point of open innovation from our perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miyoshi. Now I'll call Mr. Kato, president of Meta1, also to present the company and a little bit about open innovation policies for Brazil.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bruno-san. Good evening, everyone. My name is Masaki Kato. I am Chief Regional Officer and President of Meta1, and also I'm Management Director of the Mitsubishi Corporation Brazil. I am very glad and excited to join this meeting today. So I would like to introduce the Meta1 Corporation outline shortly. Tachiyama, could you show the material? Thank you. I would like to shortly explain Meta1. Next page, please. So I would like to explain the outline of the Meta1 group. Upper left side, company name Meta1 Corporation. Headquarters is located in Tokyo, Japan. So on the scale of our business, I would like you to know consolidated asset, Brazilian reais, 45.4 billion. About the consolidated revenue, 83.3 billion reais. So on the our number of employees all over the world, consolidated basis, about 10,000 people. So we are doing the mainly steel industrial business. We have a full organization shipping for steel or automotive, energy sector, and the specialty steel like that. Please, next page. So we have a worldwide network, as you can see. It's very small. You can find out the name of the company, but I hope you could understand we have a very huge network worldwide. Of course, here in South African region, we have each branch of each company, and especially here, Brazil, we have make much investment. Please kindly next page. Yes, that is our doing a business here in Brazil. You can see the upper left side. So the company is a Meta1 Brazil. That company is mainly doing trading business of steel, import business from Japan to Brazil, or vice versa, export Brazilian steel to the all over the world. And the lower left side, that is the one of the processing business in Brazil. We are cutting to the steel for the construction machinery sectors. And the upper right side, that is some automotive distribute business in Brazil. on the lower right side, so we are doing a business joint venture with Usiminas. All of you may know that's one of the biggest steel manufacturer in Brazil. So that's kind of the doing a business we are doing in here, Brazil. Next page, please. Yes. So Metal One is the one of the joint venture Mitsubishi Corporation and the Sojitz Corporation. But Mitsubishi Corporation and Sojitz Corporation is one of the trading firm in Japan. So that's why. So on the I'm also the be assigned the management director of the Mitsubishi Corporation Brazil together. So I hope you could understand. Yes, Metal One is a joint venture Mitsubishi and Sojitz, and we are doing so many variety business in here, Brazil. I would like to very excited because so on the IT, DX, such kinds of innovation could be necessary for our industry segment in order to expand the business with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kato-san. It's very interesting to mention that open innovation, venture capital, and Japan and Brazil is very linked. We remember our first Open Innovation Week. We had the presence of Professor Chesbrough, and he developed his theory on open innovation, studying the US innovation model compared to the Japanese innovation model. And at the time, there was this big difference in taking startups and the venture capital culture as part of the American way of doing innovation. That was not similar to what Japan was doing. Japan had these big companies, these big groups doing different things in the sectors. But right now, if you see, which is interesting to say, is that SoftBank is a Japanese group that has developed the venture capital in Brazil to a new dimension with a fund of $5 billion in Latin America. I believe at least half of it was invested in Brazilian startups. And now with a new fund for early stage startups of $3 billion recently announced. So this is maybe a volume that wasn't there if we add up all the other funds. So just to mention that and ask again Hara-san to talk a little bit about JETRO. How do you promote innovation or open innovation? What are the innovation programs that you have at JETRO? And maybe what kind of innovation Japan is looking in Brazil or in partnership with Brazilian enterprises and startups?
Okay. So let me explain in a little more detail about our innovation-related business initiative. JETRO supports the creation of all kinds of innovation between foreign and Japanese companies. So JETRO is engaged in three main activities. First, we support foreign companies that are considering doing business or investing in a Japanese market, especially those with advanced technologies that do not exist in Japan. Secondly, we also provide support to Japanese startups company who wish to expand their business overseas. Today's morning demo day featured Japanese startup companies aiming for the Japanese market, a Brazilian market. And the third is to provide opportunities for open innovation between Brazilian and Japanese companies. Many Japanese companies are looking for technologies from around the world. Therefore, we believe that Brazilian companies are one of the potential ecosystem market that the Japanese government and Japanese companies are interested in. And we would like to work together with Apex Brazil to create opportunities for introduction and collaboration. We are also working on those objectives because of the social issues that Japan is facing. Now I would like to talk about the areas that Japan is paying a special attention to. I'll show you a slide. Okay. Okay, you can see it. Okay, Japan is looking for advanced technologies that are not available in Japan to solve social issues in Japan. There are some keywords here with three that are needed from Japan's social issues. First of all, environmental friendliness is important. Globally, as a matter of corporate responsibility, corporate businesses and social activities are moving toward an environmentally friendly world. The Japanese government has also declared that it aims to achieve a carbon neutral, decarbonized society by 2050. Therefore, we are looking for technologies that aim for sustainable circular economy. Second, labor shortage improving productivity. Japan is facing the problem of declining birth rate and aging population. In 2015, the percentage of population aged 75 and over exceeded the percentage of population aged 14 and under. As the workforce shrinks due to the declining birth rate and aging population, it is necessary to increase productivity and added value using digital technology. Third, smart and resilient Japan. Japan is polarized between densely populated urban areas and depopulated regions, and it is necessary to achieve a balanced growth of both. We are looking for technologies to promote smart cities and build a resilient and livable Japanese society. Environmental friendliness, labor shortage and improving productivity, and smart and resilient Japan. These three keywords are the entry points for technologies that will attract Japanese interest. That's all. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you very much. Very clear, well organized. I think with that kind of driver, no, we can focus initiatives among our ecosystem and the Japanese ecosystem, because I believe there are very similar issues also for Brazil where we can cooperate. So taking as an example, no, here we have Miyoshi-san from Hitachi and Kato-san from Meta One. What do you see as maybe opportunities for open innovation in Brazil, and maybe what differences there are in open innovation for the headquarters in Japan? So if we can start with Miyoshi-san.
Okay, thank you, Bruno. Well, basically, we don't have some particular policy to be applied in some specific country. Innovate our business, change the way we do provide our product and service is a mandatory requirement for our company survival. The top management of our company encourage all employees to change the way we provide our traditional product and services. And that demand for innovation, of course, eventually there are a lot of internal initiatives to try to make the things different. But sometimes, especially by external calls coming from the market or the customer to change the way we do the things, and then we have opportunity to innovate. In this afternoon, our group company, Hitachi ABB Power Grids, who work in the energy sector, presented a project, joint project with the customer, and also involving University of São Paulo, USP, to collaborate to create some unique solution, which is different from what we do in other regions. I would say that the basic concept of innovator, improve this product and service are common, but each region have particular economic requirement or technology requirement, and we are here locally to address those issues and do it in the best way in order to finally deploy the solution. If we do not deploy the solution, there's no business, no innovation. So that's a very simple thing. And the key point is think out of the box. Maybe the big gap or difference where we have from Brazil to Japan in terms of infrastructure or the environment, all the aspects of the society, maybe that's a chance of bring some idea out of the box, bringing idea from Japan to here, or taking idea from Brazil to Japan.
Yeah, that's for sure. When you have this different mindsets, way of thinking, and also different problems, you can cross-fertilizate, no, both companies from Brazil or in Japan. And if you see also what happens in different sectors that are maybe more developed in Brazil, you can also bring that to your sector, and that might also be connected to other opportunities in headquarters. And this is why for us we see so many opportunities by working together and by connecting. So Kato-san from Metal One, how do you see from your side open innovation in Brazil, and how is it different from the headquarters?
Yeah, before I explain my opinion, I quite agree on the Miyoshi-san's opinion. So every day I can see the words DX, IT, innovate on newspaper in Japan. But for what? What's the purpose? That is very important. So that's why every day I emphasize myself, what's the purpose? Why we have to proceed this challenge? Not only brown nose to my boss. That is the purpose to survive as a Japanese company. So that's why the difference of the Japan and Brazil. So unfortunately, Japan has much mineral, much resources. That's why such a Japanese company made a big investment to Brazil, mineral, oil and gas sector like that. But even though Japanese company made an invest to Brazil, we don't have such kind of business operation in Japan. So I think that's the gap. Even though Japanese company, despite the person made the investment, but there are no operation such kind of industry area in Japan. That's the difference. That's why such kind of the area, but maybe agriculture should be added. But that there are some chance to the tie up Brazilian company and the Japanese company for operational point. That is one thing. Second, so on the policy of the Metal One, and of course we are looking for the good opportunity for tie up with the startup company all over the world. Every day, our employee looking for the opportunity, tie up with such kind of the company to make efficient logistic and supply chain and looking for the opportunity to make an investment like that. So that's policy, headquarter and the abroad branch, no difference. So, but at this moment, from my eyes, such kind of the conversation is very active in United States and China. Of course, here in Brazil, we have a lot of the accurate conversation, looking for the good partner, looking for the good function, like that. But from my eyes, at this moment, United States and China, in that region, so on the our Metal One group have accumulated conversation about the startup tie-up project. That kind of thing. From my side, that's it. It's okay.
Yes, yes, thank you, Kato-san. I would like to, maybe hear a little bit more from what are, in your point of view, the main potentials or the strengths that we have as opportunities for open innovation in Brazil. Hara-san presented to us some of the challenges, some of the social issues from Japan, but in the point of view of your specific sectors and from what you know about the potential from the Brazilian innovation ecosystem, what would you say would be the best strengths that we will have maybe now to build on those opportunities? Maybe Miyoshi-san.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's a very difficult question to reply. It's all about the case-by-case analysis. In our case, basically, our headquarters is in Japan, but we have a business headquarters also in US and Europe. And we have the combination of products designed in these regions, plus something done here in Brazil. I would say that for those products and services designed here, we have a more autonomy to do hire subcontract or partner with the local startups, while we still feel a gap to leverage and promote the capability of a local initiatives of a startups to combine with the product and services in our headquarters out of Brazil. I think these recognition of local capabilities are still yet to be proven inside the organization. For that reason, we emphasize on what we can do with our local autonomy to create success stories, so that within our organization we can prove that there are interesting and attractive technology and services available here from local startups. I think that's the basic stance we face these challenges.
Okay, great. Thank you, Miyoshi-san. So for Kato-san, if you can also, I know it's always a difficult question, but if you can also highlight for us how do you see the strengths, the potential that we in Brazil have for open innovation opportunities with Metal One, maybe also comparing to Japan?
Yeah, I think so. On the again, logistics and the supply chain. So actually, so the Metal One doing business steel industry sector. Our main customer, automotive, oil and gas, construction. We have to convey such kind of steel. It's very heavy, not right. We cannot use Uber Eats. We cannot use. It is very difficult to convey such kind of the heavy parts in time to customer. So Brazil is a very huge country, but actually Brazil has so many automotive OEM and the construction machinery company like that. So how nicely to supply not only steel, but the some automotive parts, some aluminum, I don't know. But this is a very big challenge, I believe, for Brazil. My understanding, like Brazil, including the taxation, is a very complicated for me, right? But actually, it's on the simple logistic way. I hope simple taxation could be necessary if so, and Brazil is going to growing up the more industrialized the country. I think that could be one of the factor, logistics and the supply chain. I believe here is Brazil. We are given to the opportunity work out here in Brazil. So that's why it's again operational side. But like me, Japanese doesn't have any specific idea how to be sophisticated, how to be more efficient. That's area we need some help to tie up. How nicely to create more lean logistic for like a Japanese automotive industry like that. I believe operational, that is a key factor. How to improve, how to sophisticate it, such kind of logistic, supply chain. That could be one of the main area, Brazilian startup company and Japanese company. From my side, that's it. Is it? I hope you could understand what I would like to emphasize.
Yeah, great. Because sometimes when we talk about innovation, maybe we focus on technology or hard science, but you mentioned other kinds of capabilities. So yeah, I think for us it's interesting to understand, because of course we have also opportunities in technology, but there are so many other features to what can be done on innovation. And then instead of talking about technology, or if you want to add a little bit on technology, I would like also to understand what do you think the Brazilian companies have as business opportunities for the Japanese market as well, the capabilities of those companies that you see and you interact in Brazil, if you see there are opportunities for them in the Japanese market. We can start by Miyoshi-san.
Okay. Well, I would say we never say no, right? So otherwise we are not talking about open innovation. However, I think the challenge to enter into Japanese market, I think it's a very challenging. It's not easy at the first point, but not impossible. I think the level of quality or performance requirement sometimes is too high. And of course, we have a different market requirement, the consumer requirement or the user or even the industry customer. We have a different product to sell in supply in the Japanese market and in North American or European market, or of course, South American or Southeast Asian market. So I think we need to consider that maybe the good product here is not good enough in the Japanese market because of a market requirement, and vice versa. Maybe in the software segment, I think it's we have a very unique solutions here. However, I would say maybe the market is not ready to accept such services or such innovation. We have a different culture on even the implementation of GDPR. LGPD is totally different. The regulation itself is similar, but the understanding of the people is somehow different. So I think for Brazilian startup to endeavor in the Japanese market, I think it's important to study and understand. And of course, at the end of the day, customer is the king, I say. We always need to listen to the customer. So listen to the customer and facing directly these challenges. I will never say it's not possible to challenge and sell into Japanese market.
Great, thank you very much, Miyoshi-san. Kato-san, the same for you. How do you see opportunities for Brazilian companies to profit from business opportunities in the Japanese market? If you could share some thoughts about it.
Yeah, actually, so there are many opportunity to enter Japanese market for a Brazilian startup company, but as Miyoshi-san mentioned, necessary to know the culture and the habitat of the Japanese company. So that is necessary. How to know that? I think it's simple to have accumulated the conversation between both Brazilian startup company and the Japanese company. So in that sense, such kind of the meeting could be a good opportunity to start the conversation. It could be one of the opportunity. But one more thing, but this is not my area. I think agriculture. Actually, so Japan heard, of course, agriculture business, but the size of business is smaller than here, Brazil. So it's kind of, but I'm not sure, it's kind of family business like that. So, but that's why in Japan, the agricultural industry side, it's not easy make an investment to develop some IT technology like that. But here, Brazil, you have a huge land, you have a knowledge and experience to develop efficient of agricultural business. I think that could be one of the good chance. You can develop the new software for checking the rice or crops, beans like that. So you can introduce to the such kind of product to Japanese agriculture industry. So that could be one of the potential opportunity, I think, even though this is not my area. Thank you.
No problem. No, just to hear some of your thoughts, because of course we are always also interested in getting to know the view you might have as international expansion from Brazilian companies and maybe startups as well, since it's part of the proposal from JETRO and what we are doing here at this event. But I'd like to also come back and explore a little bit more in the case you have innovation opportunity or demand in your local operations in Brazil. If you are also willing to bring Japanese startups, for instance, to work here in the Brazilian market, because this is something I believe, and then I'll ask Hara-san also to contribute a little bit about what JETRO is doing. So if you see that as an opportunity, because to attract the startups is also a very important feature of our innovation ecosystem. We are very interested also to host innovation coming from abroad. And sometimes this footprint that you already have here in some of the sectors could also bring innovation in this format of partnering with startups. So if Miyoshi-san could maybe elaborate a little bit about that as an opportunity, or you haven't thought about it?
Okay. Bruno.
Yeah. Well, it's I would say we could consider. We don't have any particular case to think, but I watched some morning session and some agricultural solution available in Japan, and they're curiously not deployed in Japan, but more for overseas sales, like Kato-san just explained. And we see opportunity. We have some unique technologies which combined with our technology and also the capability of local startups, we could fulfill the market or the customer requirement to deliver a service to the customer, especially agricultural area or even logistic or even the industry area. There are some challenges. I think, however, the environment is different. Our infrastructure in general is kind of outdated in the sense that we are using very old equipment with the limit of renewal investment to be suffered by economic crisis in the past 2 or up to 3 decades, and how to jump up, these 2-3 steps at once. Unique innovation can help coming from startup from Japan or Brazil, but that's not all. At the end of the day, we need investment and investment of local cooperation. And I think the combination of that, we need to all work together. And but if we take it too long, maybe startup cannot survive 5 years waiting for opportunity. They will run to another business. So I think that's the challenging point to how to mature the product or solution to the market with the speed of requirement of our startup. I think that's the most challenging thing, I think.
Okay, so before I give that question back to Hara-san from JETRO, I'd like to hear also, Kato-san, if you believe this is an opportunity for working with Japanese startups in Brazil with the local operation, if that's something that you can oversee any opportunity in the next future.
Yeah, yes, I think so on the opportunity, but well, as you mentioned, the speed is very important. So on the we of course from our side to have to inform what we expected, what we want to do that very clearly, vice versa. So on the start company, so on the I expect to the reply against our expectation very clearly and very quick. So on the such kind of quick conversation should be necessary. So on the then so on the among those kind of the conversation, I can expect to see something. So on the something will be happen. So that could be one of the way, or I would like to expect to do that. So I don't have any specific answer, I guess, for that question, but the very clear conversation should be necessary. I'm not sure that the Portuguese or English, I'm not sure, but the such kind of conversation should be necessary to create some value between Brazil and Japan for this area. From my side, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Kato-san. We always think, because when you open up those opportunities and challenges that you have, maybe headquarters or subsidiaries, in your activity in Brazil to the startup ecosystem, you might find opportunities that that are also some specific challenges and case by case. But when you open up, what we have seen here in Brazil is that if you look, you find. If you open for co-creation, if you open up your company for co-creation, you'll find very good capabilities. And now we are talking about, and that's why I would like to give the word here to Hara-san. There are so many reasons for making an effort to connect those opportunities to the ecosystem, because it's proving that we really find and achieve very good results. So when you mention Hara-san, that JETRO, it's have a similar mission to Apex Brazil. So Apex is trying to promote startups abroad and also bring investment to Brazil. So if you could mention a little bit more about the services that you as JETRO offer to help Brazilian companies to expand in Japan, or to Brazilian startups maybe to connect to Japanese industry or more mature or these leading companies like we have here, Hitachi and MediOne, and others that are participating in the Open Innovation Week together with JETRO.
Okay, thank you, Bruno. Mio-san and Kato-san feel that the challenge for Brazilian company to Japan is not so easy. So I hope that we JETRO can make it a little easier for them to help them solve the problem in Japan. So I will briefly introduce the Invest Japan program. In the Invest Japan program, after screening according to the specification of the company, we will provide market information of Japan, institutional information for establishing an office in Japan, as well as office facilities and network support. We offer most of them for free. For Japan, the existence of startup companies that have solved social problems in Brazil is very attractive. Japan is a small round country, Kato-san had mentioned, but has a big market. So it is one of the most promising markets for you to challenge. If you would like to know more about the program, you can always contact JETRO. We welcome Brazilian companies that are willing to help solve Japan's social problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hara-san. So I think we cover most of the questions that I prepare here together with the organization of the event. But I would like maybe if you like to have any additional comment that I might, I don't know, have not covered in our discussion, since we have still some minutes left. So Miyoshi or Kato-san, if you'd like to say some final words and comments for us.
Thank you, Bruno. From my side, I joined this event, the last edition. I could have several meetings with the startups, and like Kato-san said, I think it all started with a very open conversation. And of course, what I most like talking with the startups is typically they're pretty open to talk and disclose information. It's much easier than dealing with among two big companies negotiating, because everybody's trying to hide the cards. Anyway, it's very important to have this very open disclosure of information. startup have different maturity level, so we can understand what are the strengths and the weakness or what's still missing. And of course, the role of a company like ours is to fulfill the weakness with with our strength, and of course, having this startup technology or know-how to cover our weakness. So I think these conversations is very useful. In this Thursday, we have a slot for the speed dating. The 4-hour slot is already fulfilled with the 12 meetings. Other additional requests are coming up. So what I would say, if there's audience, if you guys want to keep talking, I can talk later on if you leave your contact information or talking through 100 Open Startup. And I will be more than happy to keep on participating in this event to start doing something different and find out opportunity for us and also for the startup.
Okay, thank you, Yoshi-san. Kato, if you also like to add some final comments.
Yeah, thank you very much for the allow me to join this meeting. So I would like you to know, so on the, of course, so on the startup company has doing big challenge in the market, but vice versa, like Metal One, so on the doing the same challenge, even though company schedule is different. I would like you to know the situation and the purpose, expectation should be same to create something. So on the, I believe the value is not created by company. The new value is created by the person who work for the company. That's why. So on the, even though startup company, big company, the world is different, but the person for contribute to that company. That's why. So I would like to see, not only such kind of the management conversation. We have Metal One has a very talented younger employee, more than me. I hope in your future they have accumulated conversation with a Brazilian startup company in restaurant São Paulo, I hope. So this is my last comment. Thank you very much for the allow me to join this event. Bruno-san, obrigado.
Okay, thank you, Kato-san. Hara, if you also would like to give some final comments and for us before we close this panel.
Thank you. I think still not much is known about this innovation environment in Brazil, in Japan. So I would like to send out more information and create opportunities like this event for Japanese companies, also for Brazilian companies to get to know Brazil and Japan. I think digital technology is the solution, one of the solutions. So I will continue to work with 100 startups. Thank you, Bruno.
Great. So I think it's time for us to close. I would like to thank you very much for sharing all these thoughts and having this open conversation with us. I'd like to say also, Otsukare-sama, as a great job. and arigatou gozaimasu, because it's always something very noble for you to be here with us and share about those opportunities. I'll close this panel now with a good evening to everyone, and I hope you enjoying the other activities, and mainly at the end of the last day, Thursday, we have speed dating, and I think all of us are going to be there hosting meetings that are relevant for us and might generate also a continuation, and hopefully we'll have an Open Innovation Week, maybe presential and that we can see each other, and maybe also in Japan, opportunities for more people to visit and travel, and also to host more Japanese companies and startups in Brazil. So thank you very much, and good evening to everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.